Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Cap Social Network. And just in case some of you may have noticed, I'm doing a whole different look for a change. And I would really appreciate it if some of you would let me know in the comment section, by the way, how you may like my new dapper look. I call it the grown and sexy look. Anyway, I wanted to talk about in today's video how black mothers mistreat their daughters but pamper their sons. Because how often do you see, whether it may be either in person, ladies and gentlemen, where there may be a black mother and her daughter, for instance, it could be a middle-aged black mother between the 20 something year old age bracket to the 40 something year old age bracket, who may happen to have either a small daughter or a teenage daughter while out in public. And it just so happens that the daughter may happen to get out of line. How many times, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have you known the mothers to usually vent their frustration out on the daughters by, in some cases, going as far as cussing the daughters out in public, whether it may either be at a grocery store, gas station, mall, and on and on. And to make matters even worse, may go as far as not only cussing the daughters out, but physically assaulting the daughters, or in some cases putting their hands on the daughters. But let it be their sons to get out of line. And the son may happen to, for instance, talk back to them while being in the same predicament. Chances are they are more respectful in most cases towards their sons. Also, how many times, ladies and gentlemen, have you seen a social media reel, whether it may be by the likes of Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, where there's always black mothers and daughters going at it, jawing with each other, having either physical altercations or verbal altercations. In some cases, or most cases, both. How many times have you also seen clips slash reels on social media, whether they may have been part of either X, once again, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and on, where there may have been a black mother talking to her daughter in the daughter's bedroom, may come to the daughter's bedroom if her daughter may be as young as 10, 11 years old, after the daughter may have done something that the mother may have not agreed with, only to have a belt in one hand, could say a whole bunch of obscenities at the daughter, and usually take out her frustration. Might as well say also vent out her frustration on the daughter by physically abusing the daughter, and for the whole world, the whole entire universe to see. But let the shoe be on the other foot, whereas the son may happen to do something out of pocket or out of line. Let it be the same scenario. Chances are she would try all she could, usually, to pamper and nurture the son. And I look at it from this perspective. One reason why there are so many instances where black mothers usually don't get along with their daughters is, when it all boils down to it, is due to jealousy. And also, there are some black mothers that are so jealous, have so much jealousy, disdain, and resentment for their daughters, to the extent where, for instance, let's just suppose there may be a black mother middle age that may happen to be 40 years old with a 20-year-old daughter, and the daughter may happen to still be staying in her home. It just so happened the daughter may happen to go out on a date, and her date may happen to meet the mother for the first time. If the mother may happen to find the daughter's date fairly attractive, chances are she may deliberately try to do all she can to flirt with the daughter's date just out of sheer jealousy and resentment, just to show that much more how jealous she is of her daughter, especially if that same date of her daughter may happen to be so good looking to the extent where the mother may have wished when she was as young as her daughter that she could have been able to pull a guy of that magnitude that may have been fairly or just as attractive as the daughter's date. And some are so jealous of their daughters that they will not only go as far as flirting with the daughter's date if the daughter's date may happen to be fairly attractive, but will go as far as turning the daughter's date against the daughter. So he will eventually want to cut, cut ties, might as well say break up with the daughter. And sometimes, whether you know it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that could be the mother's ulterior motive just so she could be able to have her way with the daughter's date, just to be able to cause that much more friction between herself, the mother, and the daughter, both the mother and the daughter. More drama as well. It's like a never ending cycle. And how many of you have known of a case where a man may be as old as 30 years of age, and it just so may happen to still stay with his mother? If his mother is a single parent, whether she may be either a single parent or may happen to have a living boyfriend or a husband in some cases. This guy may be 30 years old, may not work. All he may like to do is just play video games, get high, get drunk, hang out with his homeboys, and in most cases have his homeboys come over to the house to get drunk, play video games, and get high with him. Chances are the mother won't say anything about persuading him or trying to motivate him to move out the house and get his own place so she could be able to have her own privacy, her own space. But let that be a daughter that may be the same age, especially that daughter may happen to be pregnant in the same age, 30 years old. Chances are that the mother would do all she can to try to force the daughter to move out. And in some cases may go as far as putting all the daughter's belongings outside so she could be able to move out for sure, and then change the locks on the door. Some women are, believe it or not, homeless right now due to a disagreement they may have had with their mothers, due to how the dynamic in some cases, and when both black mothers and black daughters always usually ends where they can't, in some cases, get along with each other, hardly can't ever see eye to eye with each other. Unlike when the mother and son dynamics, these mothers will do all they can. If the once again son may be 30 years old, between 30, oh, I could go younger than that, 27 to 35 years old. If he's still staying with her, will go out of her way to keep him in her house for as long as possible, because in most cases, those women want those sons, those same sons who they try all they can to motivate to stay in their homes and not move out, to be the husband, to take the role of the husbands or either the baby daddies on behalf of the mothers that may have not been ever married before, but may just happen to have kids that may still stay with them, grown kids at that. It really, when that being said, it really goes deep. The dynamic between both daughter and mother, where mother and daughter relationships compared to mother and son relationships. Like I said earlier, black mothers in some cases go out of their ways to mistreat their daughters and show jealousy towards their daughters. But when it comes to their sons, they go out of their ways to instead pamper, nurture their sons. Anyway, and without further ado, I'm going to cut to the chase and show some clips, several clips at that, all via TikTok on behalf of this subject. On that note, give me a few minutes and I will be glad to have the awesome privilege to show each and every last one of these clips pertaining to the topic of the video. So here they go.
Be the one to stir the pot. But somebody needs to talk about the pipeline between mothers who have daddy issues of their own or just issues with men and how they favor their sons and give the daughters hell. And in some extreme cases, they even treat their sons like they would their man or their husband. They turn into enablers and start looking past almost anything that their sons do, not even realizing it's because of the wound that they have on their own since they were younger, with just letting men walk all over them and get away with whatever. Then mind you, what the girls get, especially firstborn daughters, is the passed down internal trauma that they either have with their mothers or themselves. They allow the same treatment from their sons that they would allow from a man that they were with romantically. I feel like it's so embedded in our culture that we don't even notice we do it. And let me give y'all an example. I hate bringing up Krishan and Baby Blueface or whatever the hell his name is, but this is the perfect example to use. As most of you know, Krishan just had a baby and is in a very on and off abusive relationship with Blueface. So since she just had a baby boy, you see a whole bunch of women in the comments like, don't worry, that baby is going to give you the love that that man didn't. That little boy is going to show you what real love is. We start putting all this pressure, all this man of the household weight on these little boys before they even get grown. It's also weird that you're telling this person, don't worry, the romantic love a grown ass man is supposed to know how to give you, your child is going to learn how to do and replace. That's supposed to be a whole different type of love. And that is not that little boy's weight to carry. But this also raises the other problem, the treating them like the man of the household before they even learn how to be a leader and earn that. So in a lot of cases, these boys will grow up and still get that special treatment, that man of the household treatment, even if that's not how they act. What they do will be excused. The shit they do will be looked over. This is just behavior that creates narcissists, creates abusers. Like, they grow up with a mother who is just letting them think all of their behavior is okay. But mind you, the daughters will receive all the aggression in the world over the smallest things, sometimes to the point of the mom even trying to physically harm or fight their daughters. But you bet not touch, test, or say nothing to their beloved sons. And let it be the daughter trying to correct the son. All hell's gonna break loose. He is protecting that boy or those boys like that's her man. Which is a lot of times why they give the women that these sons decide to date such an issue. Because they come at it as, you trying to take my man from me. When really it's like, girl, that is your whole son. It's just crazy to see and even live through. And I just really wonder where this started stemming from in our culture, that so many mothers do this unconsciously. And when we try to bring it up, it's just like, oh, absolutely not. That's not what's happening. It's crazy.
So I saw this question multiple times and I think somebody answered it, but I just want to go ahead and make a quick video on it. When it comes to Black women and generational trauma and how they raise their daughters, men or their boys get treated differently because they cannot relate to the experience of being a boy or a man. They don't understand the concept of what it means to navigate life, careers, relationships, or anything as a man. So when you are projecting trauma onto someone, it only makes sense to then project that trauma onto someone whose life you have the most proximity to, most understanding of being. So as a Black mother that has not healed their generational trauma, she is more likely to project that onto her daughter than she is her son, because she, again, does not have the proximity of what it means to navigate this world as a man, but she understands it as a woman.
Yeah, mothers treat their sons so much better than they treat their daughters is really crazy to me. Like, and every time I say something about it, it's like, that is not true. Yes, it is. Boom, right? My brother, I see him downstairs. This is my older brother. Now I told you, me and him not speaking right now. Well, I'm not speaking to him. He's still on some. I love you. I love you. I don't care. Whatever. I can love you from a distance. Do this. Um, I get upstairs and I smell something good. My mother made breakfast. She made his favorite meal, liver and grits. I don't eat liver, but she make it for him because that's what he loved, and they the only two who eat that. Whatever. My mother, every morning, is always feeding, make breakfast for me, make breakfast for me. The moment I don't want to cook or make breakfast, oh, you never do nothing for me, da da da. This man never made breakfast for her. He never made, she don't even know if he could cook. Boom, yesterday, my little brother, they got into something. He called himself running away, right? Leaving house and running away. She called me to fix the problem after blaming me for it. Hold on, not only that, I remember the time when I called myself leaving her house. And I didn't even tell her that I was leaving. I actually texted my little sister and told my little sister that I was leaving. I didn't expect my little sister, whatever. Anyway, that's another story. Boom. So I leave and wind up going to stay with somebody who I didn't even like. I didn't even like the boy, but I was with him at the time, so I just had to stay with him. But I was with him for a couple of days. I just said that to be funny because I was mad at the moment. But when I came back, literally they was throwing out all my stuff. They was throwing out all my stuff. They didn't even give me a chance, a trial and error, 7-day free trial, nothing to think if I wanted to come back. Like, I was just playing. I didn't even take all my stuff with me at the time yet. But, yeah. So I was officially kicked back. I mean, obviously I'm back because whatever. I'd rather just deal with the things with my mother than with a man. But, yeah, that's just goes to show how much differently. Oh, that's what I was going to get to, right? When my brother left yesterday, she blowing my phone up, come back, blowing his phone up, get him to come, blowing up my phone to get me to get him to come back, blowing up his phone, all of this, trying to now kumbaya it out. But with me, it was on some like, give me back my keys, get the fuck out of my house, you think you so grown, da da da. Why the same energy don't be for your sons? Why? I don't know.
Sons, raise your daughters. But what does that look like?
It's more like they love their sons and they just hate their daughters. When you have moms that don't love themselves, that grew up in poverty, that grew up, being hated by their moms, that grew up not being loved properly by men, once they have that daughter, they are jealous of their daughters immediately because their daughters are going to have the things that they never got a chance to get. It's so much resentment with a lot of moms raising their daughters these days because their daughters have the opportunity to, you know, go into womanhood in a healthy way, have an opportunity to be confident, have an opportunity to build self-esteem, go after the career they wanted, go after men in a proper way, as in, find healthy love. Moms today, they sabotage their daughters. They don't want their daughters to understand that they have so much power. So the fact that these moms don't have no sense of power, they're going to take that from their daughters. Now with their sons, All they can do is just love their sons because they want their sons to be that man for them. Because they never had that love from a man, they're going to get it from their sons. So what they do, they raise their sons to be shitty human beings towards other women. They don't want another woman to take their son away from them. So what they do, they tell you, oh, women ain't shit. Women are this, women are that. Oh, don't take her out on a date. Oh, yeah, you can, yeah, come bring that other girl in. You need options. Don't, yeah, cheat. Oh, don't empty the garbage. Don't cook. Don't clean. Your sister gonna do that for you. It's a lost cause. I kind of get kind of sad that moms don't understand how pure it is to have a daughter. How pure it is to even, be a parent today. You have the opportunity to raise children into being good people, but y'all choose to raise them to be shitty. Y'all choose to belittle them and cause so much trauma because you aren't healed. So it's sad. Y'all not raising y'all daughters. Y'all just hating them. You're not raising your sons. You're just loving them because you can't get a decent man to love you. It's just sad.
Black moms will treat their daughters and their sons.
Oh, for
Oh my goodness.
Hey y'all, it's Wendy Wisdom. Quick question. I just want to piggyback off of what Willow Smith was saying about black mothers being harder on their black daughters than their sons. But my question for mothers is, what is the purpose of raising your daughters but loving your sons? And what I mean by that is, with sons, you're more delicate, you're more nurturing, you're more patient, you're more kind and compassionate towards. But your daughters, you have very little patience for. She has to be on top of everything. She has to care for the brother who you would probably let sit there and not take out the trash, but force her to take out the trash. What does it benefit you to raise your daughters with a loveless energy, the lack of nurturing, very critical, constantly hard on your daughter, and expect her to come up and be very nurturing, loving, kind, and a thriving young lady? But because of your hardness and your persistent criticisms and tough nature with your daughter, she probably is very successful. She probably is a thriving, goal-oriented, bad mama jamma. But how about your son? How successful is he? How consistent and responsible is he? Because a lot of that over-mothering for these sons, it does not make any sense, because all you do is hinder him. All you're doing is creating a mama's boy, a man who cannot stand on his own 2 feet, a man that will always look for a woman to overmother him, accommodate and tolerate his behavior because he's had a mama who's made everybody else around him do the same thing. So again, black mothers, what was the benefit of doing that? Raising your daughters and being loving to your sons, being nurturing, like I already said. And also, before you judge your mothers, ladies, make sure you're breaking the cycle with your own children, because that's all it is a repetitive cycle. Children do what is sought and not taught. And so we definitely need to break the cycle, because the level of violence and hatred and competition and hatefulness that is amongst black women against each other is disgusting. There are black men who are online right now as influencers who are being negative and wicked to women, right? In the name of empowering them. And I think to myself, if I got my tail online and talked to women the same exact way he does, and this is just one of a few, right? Some of us need that hard verbal lashing to stop being in our own way or being dumb, right? But if another woman got online and read y'all, just like some of these men influencers who are trying to tell you about love and keeping your legs closed and telling you how to be a woman, and he ain't a damn woman himself, if another black woman got online and did what that black man was doing, you would destroy her. You would find out where she lived at and try to drag her. Women, we have to break this cycle. And mothers, it started from you, but it's going to end with us women. That's all.
Face what facts? I do not baby my. For those of y'all who have been following me, y'all know how I feel about this mother-daughter subject. I don't have the best relationship with my mama, and it's strictly because I be telling y'all, mothers treat treat their sons better than their fucking daughters. This shit is a proven fact. I don't know if it's just a natural instinct because y'all be feeling like y'all got a coddle them because of the world. I don't know what it is, but y'all do that shit. We see it. And when we tell y'all, y'all literally will fight tooth and nail to say why y'all don't do it. When we can literally tell you how the fuck we're being treated. Let your daughter disrespect you or say something out the way. Y'all want to smack us in our mouth, tell us we are B's, H's, like literally disrespect us to the motherfucking core. Y'all son will literally call y'all bitches, take shit from y'all, all type of shit, rough up to y'all, and y'all will forget him because that's y'all son. That shit makes no perfect sense when you ready to knock your daughter head off because you call her talking to a boy. This nigga done went to jail toting Glocks and a nigga drinking 60 gallons of lean every day and you don't got shit to say. You supplying his product too. We have seen men shoot up schools, do things to children. We have seen their mothers stand by them. Very rarely do I see when something happens with a woman, they have anybody in their corner. When women go crazy, when they kill people, it's literally like it be that story about them and they just get vanished in the air. You will see a mama supporting her son, trying to rally for him, get motherfuckers to advocate for her. It's very rare that mothers be there for their daughters in the black community or a lot of communities, period. Because I be seeing on here foreign kids complain about their mothers all the time. And they still say the men get treated better in their culture. So I can't even say that. It's just like y'all have this, like I said before, a superior complex with y'all daughters to where it's, I'm the big dog. You don't run shit here. And with your son, it's like you want this to be a safe space for him to always run home because you number one in his life. If you want to fuck your son, just say that. But y'all need to stop acting like y'all don't know what the fuck going on. Because y'all know exactly what y'all be doing. And the shit, y'all know exactly what y'all be doing. And the shit is pathetic. Because when y'all daughters gonna start visiting y'all, or they start knocking y'all ass out, don't come complaining to us and telling us that they're disrespectful. No, they just tired of your shit and they tired of you roughing their ass up.
Woo! Man, did she say a mouthful, especially during the part when she said how a lot of you mothers act like you want to F your sons, which is the truth. I agree with her 100% on her whole entire perspective on how mothers do all they can to be more nurturing and cuddle their sons. But when it comes to dealing with their daughters, on the other hand, they have so much hate and show so much hate and disdain, jealousy on behalf of dealing with their daughters. I also wanted to add how some mothers, black mothers, put their sons so much on a pedestal and worship their sons to the extent where the son could be as young as 14 years old, living with her, of course, and bringing girl after girl inside the house to his bedroom to have his way with. Won't even much say anything about him trying to move out pretty soon so he could be able to have his own privacy and be able to have sex when as many females as he desires whenever he wants to, but let that be the daughter doing the same thing, even though it's clearly obvious that it's a double standard between promiscuous boys, young boys, and promiscuous young girls. Anyway, if the shoe is on the other foot, I'm just being hypothetically, just giving it a hypothetical example. And she may have a daughter the same age, around 14, that's inviting guy after guy or boy after boy inside the house to have her way when she'll go out of her way to raise hell, uh, threaten to put the daughter out. And in some cases, like I said earlier, go as far as putting the daughter's all her belongings out just to show how pissed off she may be on behalf of the daughter, bringing multiple boys inside of her house so the daughter could be able to have her way with different boys, if you catch my drift. Personally, I feel like the same rules should apply when, even if the son may happen to have multiple sexual partners as opposed to the daughter, she should want to put forth the initiative that want to put him out the house just like she would, and raise hell towards him as she would towards the daughter, in spite of the so-called double standard between the sexes. Anyways, I'm going to show around one, maybe two more clips. So bear with me and be patient once again, ladies and gentlemen. And excuse me because I'm still a tad bit under the weather.
Low-key was dating their son. You low-key the version of your daddy. I'm just gonna date you but not have sex with you, low-key. One thing that somebody said on one of my videos, and it stuck with me: single moms raise their sons to be the man their son. You low-key the version of your daddy. I'm just gonna date you but not have sex with you, low-key. One thing that somebody said on one of my videos, and it stuck with me: single moms raise their sons to be the man that they wish their father was. As much as we like to say that we can do it all, you can't teach a man how to be masculine. You're teaching him what you think it means to be a man or love a woman from a woman's perspective. And a lot of men struggle with that. You feel, again, that you've done your role and you raised me to be this way, but this is not what women are actually looking for. So they get out here and they try to date or marry, have kids, and they're struggling. Single mothers and the relationship that they have with their daughters versus their sons. Oh my goodness. Woo, baby! It was hard on us. We had to make sure the house was clean, cooked. Like, we had chores, we had duties. We have so much high expectations. It's like the men, they were just constant. It's like this internalized type of hatred that a lot of women have toward their daughters. A lot of it has to do with jealousy. Like, they're secretly jealous, especially if you see a mom, if she was a young single mom and then they have a daughter who's thriving, like she's living her life. A lot of women kind of see that and they're envious because it's like, you're doing all the things that I wish I could have done. So I'm secretly channeling that frustration I have on you.
Made a post in a minute, but I wanted to talk about how Black mothers, specifically Caribbean mothers, treat their sons so much different than how they treat their daughters. I know some of y'all been new this. I know some of y'all lived through it, but I was just so shocked because the other day my mom was talking to my aunt about my cousin, my aunt's son, and basically they were saying that my mom was telling me that my cousin we're both in college, same year and everything. He's skipping school. He's not going to classes. He wasn't going to his summer classes which he had to take because he got into a car accident and he needed to make up for classes when he was taking time off. And he hasn't even registered for school yet for the semester. It's September. September is almost gone. And my aunt was telling my mom that she kind of regrets sending my cousin to that school because they have like a low graduation rate and all of that. And my mom was saying, yeah, they don't have a lot of resources and all of that. And I'm just like, okay, I understand, like,
sometimes the school is not helpful for your needs. But if I, if I was skipping class and not showing up to school, not even registering for the fall semester, my parents wouldn't even let me back in the house. Like, it's so raw. Like, y'all, really? Like, what happened to baton? What happened to beating? Like, how come y'all letting him just, like, not go to class and all of that? When if I just say, I don't feel like going to school today, y'all would be like, shut the fuck up. All this money I'm spending on school, you don't want to go to school, you ungrateful little bitch. They don't cuss like that to me, but, like, literally, like, y'all wouldn't let that slide if it was me. If it was another, like, a female cousin, if it was a daughter or just any female relative, like, y'all wouldn't do this. But y'all letting my cousin do all of this, it's just like, he gets to sleep in, and meanwhile I'm over here waking up 7 a.m. almost every single morning, studying my ass off, and yet he still gets to eat food. Yet if I get a bad grade, I'm getting called all type of names, all type of whatever, and saying, like, you're a disgrace to the family. Like, this, what about y'all's child?
So I saw this question multiple times.
How mothers treat their sons so much better than they treat their daughters is really crazy.
Well, folks, I thought that I had at least one more video left to show you. Unfortunately, I do not. Anyways, and on that note, let me know what you guys think by commenting right down below on this topic in the comment section. Also, smash that like button so this video could be able to gain more exposure and my channel could be able to also grow that much more on YouTube. Make sure you share it. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, you guys have a good one and be safe out there.